The only man who escaped North Korea to break back in.
March 13th, 2022.
Double equality. Hold on.
March 13th, 2022.
Why am I having a
man
glass
slips
on?
into the Yalu River. The water temperature is 34 degrees. Cold enough to kill him in 15 minutes. But hypothermia isn't what he's worried about.
That's kind of crazy. Based on the title just itself, judging. Like, this man escaped North Korea just to break back in. I'm assuming the only reason why he break back in, because he got out to the outside world. But obviously, the story is going to be telling. This is just assumptions coming into the story. You know what I mean? His family is in North Korea. He couldn't get them out, so he kind of have to go back and, you know, maybe spend some time with them. But for what reason would a person, if successfully ended up escaping North Korea, which we all know is kind of impossible, to get back in? I just don't see any other point. It has to be family related.
Coming toward North Korea, not away from it, toward it. 3 years ago, he crawled out of this exact river half dead after a 5-month escape through China, Laos, and Thailand. He made it to Seoul. He was free. Now he's going back. If the guards catch him, they won't just shoot him, they'll execute his entire family.
I very hope that they're going to be covering the story of how he escaped. Because I only know one person that escaped it properly. I heard the story about it like a couple months ago. I believe this is not the same person. And that guy had a crazy story of how he escaped it. Like, there goes like some really, really well executed plans that they've been planning on for years to be able to escape this. This shit is not easy, guys. I don't know if you guys know what is going on in North Korea. It's kind of crazy.
3 generations erased for one man's decision. Over 33,000 people have fled North Korea since 1998. Not a single one has ever tried to go back, until now. And he's got 72 hours before the entire regime realizes a man just crossed the river of no return in reverse. What could make a free man swim back into hell? And what happens if North Korea catches him?
He's dead. They shoot him. It's that simple.
May 2016. Kim Kang-woo is 20 years old when he wades into the Yalu River for the first time, heading the other direction. Behind him, a village where neighbors report neighbors for extra rice rations, where public executions happen in town squares on market days, where his father died 2 years earlier attempting this same crossing. His body never recovered, swept downstream by the current that carries so many broken promises toward the Yellow Sea.
So his father just died like 2 years ago before he tried to attempt it. And he's 20. So I'm assuming his father died when he was 18. That already brings in a lot of trauma just from this. I imagine his heart was like bum, 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 pumping so quickly just from trying to attempt this, or even having the thought about it, because his father really died from the same process, right? But at the same time, if I know, I'm pretty sure if I would have been born in North Korea, I feel like the best age is actually to try to escape from it. If you really want to escape, is about that age, 20 to 22, 23, because that's the time when you have the most energy, the most creative your mind is, I believe.
Ahead, 5 months of walking through China, Laos, and Thailand, dodging traffickers and border police, sleeping in truck beds and drainage pipes, eating scraps and drinking rainwater. He survives on one promise. He will return for his mother. 3 years. That is what he tells her before he leaves. Wait 3 years, and I will get you out. He keeps that promise, or tries to. By 2019, Kim has worked every job Seoul offers. Construction crews from 6...
So he did escape, but they didn't really say how he escaped it. And the reason why he went back, I mean, the video just started, we still have some time to it. The reason why he went back, we all know that it was because of the mom. So I knew it was kind of family related. There is no other point for you to go back to a cage. Like, as Xavier said, like, they could even kill you for a bad haircut. If you watch a YouTube video or something, like, unlegally. Because it's not legal there. They can kill you. It's kind of crazy.
Morning until 4, hauling cinder blocks until his hands crack. The mattress factory from 5 until midnight, folding foam and loading trucks. 14-hour days, 7 days a week for 36 consecutive
Locked
months.
in.
His co-workers think he is saving for a car or an apartment. They joke about his dedication. He never corrects them, but he is saving for a human life. The going rate for a defection broker, A smuggler who can move a person from North Korea through China to Southeast Asia and finally to the South is $20,000. The price fluctuates based on border
$20,000?
tension, bribery costs, and how many middlemen need to be paid. Kim scrapes together $22,000 just to be safe. He converts his
I believe every person would kind of try to do the same. 20,000 bucks is yes, is a lot for somebody that's just trying starting out a new life, but it's definitely a money that's doable. Like, they're not requesting millions of dollars, and $20,000 to make your mom escape. I believe that's only for one person, and I'm assuming his mom only living in North Korea still. So $20,000 is definitely worth it to smuggle out a person. However, even if you pay that money and they try to smuggle that person out, they don't guarantee that they're going to be arriving safely. This is just something that's it's risky. They might catch it, then you lose your 20 bucks, you lost even your mom, and your life is f***ed. But I still believe the risk is worth it, bro.
wages into cash and stores the bills in a lockbox under his bed. He finds a broker through the defector network in Seoul, a man with a reputation for completing extractions without losing clients. He pays in full. He waits by his phone for the call that will tell him his mother crossed the river. The call comes in November 2019, but his mother's voice on the other end is not triumphant. It is terrified. Something went wrong at the rendezvous point. A miscommunication, a dropped signal, a panicked abort when she heard footsteps. She could not go through with it. By the time she gathered her nerve, the window had closed. The broker vanished with the money. $22,000.
No! This is the worst case scenario, bro. Like, even if, let's say, for example, you would have tried to smuggle out your mom and you know that she died in the process. Obviously not. I think that's even worse. What am I even saying? I think what I was going to say, like, if you know that, at least you have that knowledge, like, hey, at least you tried, it didn't work out. But that way, he just took the money and vanished. But at least his mom is still alive, right? But still alive in a cage. North Korea is literally like an open prison, a big open air prison. There is nothing that you can be doing there that's open to the world. So, I don't know. That's horrible. That's the worst case scenario.
36 months of labor, every one Kim had earned, evaporated in a single botched phone call. Kim does not scream. He does not hire a lawyer or file a police report.
You can't!
He does something far more dangerous. He decides that systems cannot be trusted.
Like, what are you gonna be doing with this? You cannot even file it to the police. Hey, I tried to smuggle out my mom from the North Korea. Yeah, no, we're not helping you with that. You're on your own. Somebody scammed me because of that. Brother, this is so bullshit, bro. Like, how do you even trust that person at the first place? Kind of crazy, that because that's a lot of money. He was working for that for 3 years. 3 years every single day.
Governments failed, brokers failed, and even money failed. The only variable he can control is himself. The transformation happens in stages. By day, Kim remains the polite stock clerk at a Seoul mattress store, smiling at customers, folding delivery receipts, answering questions about memory foam densities. By night, he becomes someone else entirely. He downloads satellite imagery of the North Korean border from civilian mapping services and prints it in sections, taping the pages together until his apartment wall is covered with a 6-foot mosaic of the Yalu River basin.
Dang.
He marks guard tower positions with red pins, patrol intervals with blue string, known minefields with yellow highlighter. He cross-references defector testimonies for blind spots, places where the terrain creates shadows, where the searchlights overlap poorly.
That's a
where
double
swimmer might
preparation.
slip through undetected. He runs along the Han River after midnight.
Like, to have that courage after being scammed this big and having the motivation to still go forward in life is just not easy. It's definitely not easy. To be able to recover from that depression, that's a real depression is. You're at your all-time low. You don't have your money. You got scammed. You're in a different country. You want to get out your mom. You can't. This is all-time low that he can be facing right now. So recovering from that is not easy, but he has a purpose, and that purpose is driving him. Double preparation there.
with a weighted pack strapped to his back, 15 kilograms of sand stuffed into a duffel bag. He imagines
Sand?
the weight is his mother. He imagines the riverside path is the North Korean forest. He imagines the distant city lights are searchlights hunting for him. He practices stillness.
Is he training to carry his mom on his shoulders? No, that's kind of genius. 15 kilograms is definitely not gonna be the same as carrying your own mom. I assuming your mom is anywhere between 50 to 60 kilograms if she's not obese. 15 kilograms is just not gonna be the weight of the human. But hey, still practicing with that to be able to prepare for what's coming, that's kind of dedication.
He lies motionless on his apartment floor for 4 hours at a stretch, training his body to suppress the urge to shift, to cough, to scratch an itch, to breathe loudly. He times himself with a stopwatch.
We can watch that,
third
Xavier,
month.
but not today.
He can hold absolute stillness for 6 hours without moving a single muscle. He teaches himself to become invisible. Over 6 months, Kim acquires gear piece by piece to avoid suspicion. Black thermal clothing from an outdoor sports store, paid for in cash. A waterproof dry bag from a camping supply shop in a different district. Compact rations designed for hikers, calorie-dense bars that require no cooking. A survival knife with an 8-inch blade, the kind hunters use for field dressing deer. He hopes the knife stays in its sheath. He trains with it anyway. Grip drills, strike angles, disarm counters. He knows the blade might be the difference between his mother's freedom and his own death. In early 2020, Kim books a one-way flight to Shenyang, China. No goodbyes, notes, or forwarding address. From Shenyang, he travels north by bus and foot to a town on the Yalu River whose name he never records. Operational security, even in his own mind. He spends 48 hours on the Chinese bank, crouched in underbrush with binoculars, logging guard rotations down to the minute.
That's how you know that this is gonna be a master plan of smuggling out his mom. I don't really know how it's gonna be happening exactly, but based on his preparation and everything that he did for this moment, is gonna be a really well executed plan. But I'm excited to see it.
Small notebook with timestamps, patrol routes, flashlight sweeps. On the third night, he strips off his civilian clothes, pulls on the black thermals, and walks to the water's edge. He takes a rusted razor from his pocket and shaves his head. The hair drifts into the current. With it goes the refugee, the factory worker, the obedient citizen. What remains is an operator with a single mission objective. Kim Kang-woo steps into the Yalu River and swims toward North Korea. But the country he is entering has changed since he left.
But is it him having bald head is gonna be reflecting the light even more? I feel like having bald head is something that's gonna be doing you more harm than good. I know that he says something about like floating and whatever, but I feel like whenever you have bald head, it's just gonna be reflecting. Like, I'm talking bald, not like me. I'm having buzz cut. But bald, it's just gonna be reflecting the lights. I genuinely believe that this is gonna be affecting more than harming more than doing him good.
Border security has doubled after a series of high-profile defections. Surveillance drones patrol at night with infrared cameras, and the regime has developed a new protocol for captured defectors. Execute first, interrogate never. The old system, prison camps, forced labor, slow death by starvation, has been deemed inefficient. Now they simply shoot on sight. How long can one man survive in a nation of 26 million informants? And what happens when the guard he is about to encounter refuses to stay unconscious?
The
The
breach.
Yalu is 70 meters wide at the crossing point Kim selected, narrow enough to swim but deep enough to drown. The current fights him the entire way, a relentless lateral pull that adds 30 meters to his crossing distance. Hypothermia begins in water below 59 degrees Fahrenheit. The Yalu is running at 34. By the halfway
That's
mark,
cold.
Kim's fingers have lost sensation. He knows they are still gripping because he can see them, not because he can feel them. By the 3/4 mark, his kick rate has dropped by half, legs turning sluggish, the cold seeping into his core. He forces his arms to keep moving through sheer repetition, muscle memory overriding the signals from his freezing nerves. Suddenly his boots hit the gravel, North Korean gravel, The same soil that killed his father, the same shore he swore he would never see again.
You can get hypothermia within that, 100%, but not even that. Just swimming with a river. This is a river, and it has like a strong, how do you say it? Like a strong flow to it. And swimming with a strong flow is, I don't know if you guys ever did that, is really, really hard. And it's coming from somebody that swam 12 years of his life. I was a professional swimmer for 12 years. And even for me, this shit is hard. It's difficult. So for somebody that's not trained, I don't even know how he managed to do that. With this cold water, to be able to swim like in the opposite side of the flow of the water is so difficult.
He drags himself into a drainage culvert and lies there for 90 seconds, shivering violently, letting his heart rate drop below 140 before he moves again. The guard tower is 200 meters to his north, its searchlight sweeping in predictable arcs. The patrol will pass this sector in 6 minutes. He has a window. Kim crawls through scrub brush, staying below the sight line of the road, moving toward a ravine he identified on satellite imagery. The vegetation is sparse. Stunted pines, dry grass, rocks that shift under his weight. Every sound he makes seems amplified in the stillness. If he can reach the ravine, he can follow it inland for 3 kilometers without crossing any open ground.
Double preparation.
50 meters from the ravine when his boot lands on a dry branch. The crack echoes like a rifle shot in the silence. Kim freezes. Somewhere to his left, a voice barks a question in Korean. "Who's there?" A flashlight beam slices through the trees, probing the darkness, searching for the source. He presses himself against a pine trunk, hand closing around the knife handle.
At this point, I'm pretty sure his heart is pumping like crazy. This adrenaline move is something that's nothing can replace it in life. You can be doing like extreme stuffs in your life, doing bungee jumping, jumping out from flight, going in super fast. That gives you the adrenaline, but this adrenaline is nothing gonna be replacing it. Like the feeling that, oh, I'm gonna get cold. Oh, they know that I'm here. Oh, what am I going to do? Like all these thoughts coming in with your mind is just something nothing in life gonna be like replacing that. It has a good feeling and a bad feeling in the same time. I don't really know how to explain it.
The beam sweeps closer. He can hear boots crunching leaves, maybe 20 meters away and closing. The guard is not calling for backup yet. That means he is not certain what he heard. If Kim stays silent, the man might walk past. If Kim breathes at the wrong moment, the man might fire. Then the flashlight stops moving. The guard has found the broken branch. He is staring at it, connecting dots. His rifle comes up. Kim explodes from cover. His left hand smashes the rifle barrel to the side. His right palm drives into the guard's throat. The soldier chokes, staggers, and squeezes the trigger reflexively.
He squeezed the trigger? Okay, that's gonna be giving away everything. They just know that all the guards around, they're gonna be hearing that sound, and they're gonna be coming to this exact spot. That man is almost fucked up. Hopefully they're not gonna be finding him.
The shot punches into the sky, a flare announcing Kim's position to every patrol within a kilometer. The guard swings the rifle like a club. Kim ducks, loses his footing on the wet leaves, and crashes into the dirt. The soldier lunges for him.
Bro, he could have just stabbed him.
The impact makes a sound he will hear in nightmares for years. The guard drops, unconscious before he hits the ground. Kim checks for a pulse, alive, but out cold. He kicks the rifle into a ditch, then sprints into the ravine as whistles shriek behind him. Within seconds, the forest swallows him whole. The breach is complete. But the clock is now ticking in minutes, not hours. How far can he get before the entire border garrison mobilizes?
Yeah, everybody's just gonna be looking after this guy right now.
And when they find the unconscious guard, what story will the man tell about the man who came out of the river? For 8 days, Kim moves through North Korea like a roomie.
8 days!
He walks only between 2 and 5 in the morning, when surveillance is thinnest and the guards are fighting sleep. He travels by moonlight when possible, by touch when necessary. He sleeps in haystacks, abandoned sheds, root cellars, and once inside a half-collapsed grain silo, where rats scurry over his legs in the darkness. He eats whatever he can find without stealing, Wild roots, discarded vegetable scraps from compost piles, rainwater collected in his tarp. The landscape is familiar and alien at once. He recognizes the shape of the mountains, the smell of coal smoke from village chimneys, the particular brown of the dirt roads he walked as a child. But the roadside propaganda posters are new, larger, angrier, plastered with warnings about enemies and spies. The checkpoint frequency has tripled since his escape.
Damn.
Soldiers stand at every major intersection.
Yeah, it's been like more than 3 years.
Searching bags, questioning travelers who look nervous. And his own voice sounds wrong. 3 years in Seoul softened his accent, rounded his vowels, and added South Korean slang he doesn't realize he's using. If anyone engages him in conversation, if a farmer asks where he is headed, or a soldier demands his name, he will be exposed within 30 seconds. On the
What?
ninth night, Kim reached
You cannot even be having I just even realized that you cannot even have conversations with the local. They're gonna be realizing that, hey, something is wrong with you. Your vocals, your everything changes, right? He didn't really communicate North Korean for the past 3 years. He adopted to South Korean language with that time. That's kind of crazy. And if somebody realizes, they're gonna be snitching on him straight away.
his home village. He crouches behind a woodpile at the edge of his mother's lane, watching her door. The house is smaller than he remembers, the walls more weathered, the roof patched with mismatched tiles. A candle flickers in the window. She is alive. He crosses the lane at a crouch and knocks 3 times, the pattern they agreed on before he left, a signal only they would recognize. The door opens a crack. His mother peers out, sees a mud-caked stranger with a shaved head and
I'm having
hollow eyes,
goosebumps, bro.
and starts to close the door. "Alma," he whispers. "It's me." Her eyes widen. Her mouth opens, but no sound comes out. For 3 full seconds, she cannot speak. Then she grabs his collar and pulls him inside, her hands shaking so violently she can barely close the latch behind him. They hold each other in silence, rocking back and forth in the darkness. She is thinner than he remembers, and older. The lines around her eyes have deepened into permanent grooves. But she is alive, and she is holding him. And for one moment, nothing else matters. The reunion lasts 90 seconds before terror replaces joy. "They will kill you," she hisses, pulling back.
That's the first word that you say to your son, bro? Oh my god. This is how you know that the whole society there is fucked up, bro. Like, seeing your son for the first time in 3 years, and the first word that you tell him is, they're gonna kill you. I don't even know what to feel, bro.
Look at his face. "They will kill us both. Are you insane? Why did you come back?" Kim grips her shoulders and outlines the plan. He has contacts on the Chinese side, a route mapped through the mountains, a window in 3 days when guard rotations align. Brokers are standing by to receive them. All she has to do is stay hidden until then. For 21 nights, Kim becomes a ghost inside his own childhood home. When neighbors visit, he wedges himself into a crawl space behind the wall panels, a gap 18 inches wide and 4 feet long, barely enough room to lie on his side with his knees bent. He stays motionless for hours while voices murmur on the other side of the wood, while footsteps pass inches from his head, while his legs cramp and his lungs burn for a full breath. At night, he hikes to a hilltop 2 kilometers away where a faint Chinese cell signal reaches, and he makes whispered calls to his broker contacts, coordinating extraction logistics in coded phrases. But the network is spooked. Word of an intruder at the border has filtered through the underground. The brokers think Kim's story is a trap. No one believes a defector would swim back into North Korea. It sounds like bait. Day after day, the extraction window slips further away. On the 22nd night, Kim hears the sound that ends everything. Tires on gravel, no headlights, engines cut early to minimize noise. He peers through a crack in the wall and sees a truck disgorging men in dark uniforms.
No, they found out.
Bowibu, the North Korean state security. They are moving house to house with flashlights and rifles, kicking in doors, shouting orders. His mother barely has time to whisper, "Hide!" before the door bursts inward. Kim slides into the crawl space and pulls the panel shut as boots flood the room. Through a slit in the wood, he watches two officers tear the house apart, dumping drawers, slashing the mattress, emptying the pantry, probing every shadow with flashlights. One beam stops on the wall panel. The officer raps his knuckles against it.
Do you guys think they found out that somebody escaped and re-escaped or something like this? Or they're just looking for random objects like a phone, drugs, or whatever? I generally don't think that they're ended up in this village exactly for the reason that they were fighting some stuffs that are not supposed to be there. They're looking for someone, so they know. Did they find out because the phone calls? Because I'm pretty sure everything there is really so tracked. So any call that goes outside, they straight away gonna be noticed about that. Maybe that was a bad call to call an outsiders. His mom snitched for money? You cannot be serious with these claims. His mom did not snitch for money. The reason why I say that because as soon as he saw the kid, she was more afraid of her son being harmed than her own happiness of seeing her son after 3 years. Like straight away, she just went, "Oh, they're gonna kill you." She's afraid. This is the mom's heart. She's not gonna be snitching there. That's just not possible. I refuse to believe.
Sound is hollow. Kim's hand tightens on the knife. If the panel opens, he will have less than 1 second to act. His mother's voice cuts through the tension. "Mice," she says calmly, pointing to the wall. "I hear them scurrying in there every night. Horrible creatures." The officer snorts, mutters something about wasted time and false leads, and waves his partner toward the door. 30 seconds later, the truck rumbles away. Kim waits 10 full minutes before emerging. His mother is trembling so hard she cannot stand.
Damn.
They both know the truth. The Boweebu will return. They will bring dogs next time. They will bring thermal cameras.
Damn.
And when they find him, they will not stop at execution. They will dismantle every relative he has. 3 generations erased from the earth.
3 generations erased from the earth? So if they found out that you, for example, escaped, they're ending your whole generation? Your whole 3 generation? Oh, hell no. I knew that this place is fucked up, but I didn't know it's fucked up to this point. I'm speechless. I don't even know where to put my words in here.
What does a man do when rescuing someone means destroying them? Kim is about to make the hardest decision of his life, and the answer will determine whether his mother lives or dies. Kim tells his mother at 3 in the morning. He speaks quietly, holding her hands in the candlelight, explaining what she already knows. If he stays, they both die. If he leaves, she might survive. The hunt will follow him. The Boweebu wants the defector who came back, the ghost who swam the river, attacked a soldier, and vanished into the forest. They do not care about an old woman in a village house. Not yet. She nods. She does not argue. She has spent her entire life under a regime that punishes hope, and she has learned to recognize when a door is closing. They embrace for the last time. He memorizes the feel of her arms around him, the particular pressure of her hands on his back, the smell of her hair, details he may never experience again.
AI video, this is a true story, bro. This is a true story.
"I will come back for you," he says. She touches his face and does not answer. Some promises are too fragile for words. Before dawn, Kim slips out the back and vanishes into the hills. Behind him, his mother stands alone in a house the Boweebu will search again within 48 hours. He spends 2 days in the forest, surviving on creek water and the last of his rations, watching the border through binoculars. The security presence has tripled. Dogs patrol the banks in pairs.
That's crazy.
Handlers shouting commands in the darkness.
Oh, I feel like... Oh, I'm so stupid, guys. I just remembered that he's killed. Or maybe he didn't kill. But he damaged one of the guards. He threw a rock on him. So maybe he died. And they found a body, so they know that someone an outsider is inside. But how did they find out in which village he's exactly? Do you guys think they just looked in the entire North Korea trying to find that person? And also, like, they're not really sure. Like, maybe the person was escaping that time. So how do they know for sure that the person is still inside of North Korea? I feel like if I see a dead body, like, let's say, for example, a dead soldier laying around there, the first assumption I'm going to be thinking as a North Korean soldier, that somebody tried to escape, right? Nobody's trying to come into the country. So how do they know for sure that he's inside there? That's a mystery in the story.
Floodlights illuminate the river in overlapping cones that leave almost no shadows. The crossing he made 9 days ago is now a kill zone. On the second night, a storm front rolls in from Manchuria. Rain hammers the mountainside in sheets. Thunder drowns the barking dogs. The floodlights flicker twice and die, a power surge from lightning, maybe 30 seconds of darkness at best. Kim does not hesitate. He sprints down the slope, crashes into the water, and swims. The current is faster now, swollen by rainfall, colder than before.
Damn.
His muscles are wrecked from weeks of hiding, his body running on adrenaline and nothing else.
Yeah, bro, this is the thing. He didn't even move for a whole 3 weeks. He was just hiding in that house, and whenever he didn't do anything. His muscle is so right now. If the current is even stronger right now and the water is colder, there is literally no strength for him to be pulling through that thing. Literally just your will and your power of your brain is pushing you through this. It's literally willpower, guys. This is a proof that if you put something to your brain, to your mind, you can be doing whatever. The mind is so powerful. Like, I once did a marathon. This is, hey, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to flex like, hey, I did something crazy. This is far further away, like, from what I did. But I never was running before in my life. And one day I woke up, I was like, okay, let's run to the nearest lake to my hometown. You know why? Because I feel like that my power is my brain is so powerful that I think I can do it without training, without like proper preparations, nothing. And the nearest lake was 55 kilometers away. Now, running 55 kilometers is not something that anybody does. You know what I mean? But when I woke up, I was like, okay, let's get started, bro. Nothing is going to be stopping me. I'm going to be continuing and finishing this journey at whatever cost. At around like kilometer 20, my whole, what is it called? Ankles, my legs, and mostly my knees. I did not feel my knee. Kilometer 20, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying like, oh, that was some crazy, it was crazy pain. I feel like it was the most pain I felt in my life within my knees there. I couldn't even step on it properly. But I still know that I have like 35 kilometers left. I'm not going to be stopping here. But I pushed through. At the end of the day, you know, you just put something to your brain, your mind, you can do it. Even if your body is not fully prepared for it, fully well trained for it. Obviously, that helps from coming in with injuries and all that, because my leg was injured for the next 2 weeks. Do I recommend to do this? No, but this was just a proof that I did it. I finished that thing. Cap? I mean, I don't really have nothing to prove to you, but my first ever YouTube video was a documentation on that. That was kind of like a double-sided thing, double-sided mission. Hold on, let me show you this, bro. Let me show you. This was kind of double-sided for me to be able to start my YouTube career, my YouTube journey, and at the same time, some mental toughness for myself personally to prove that, hey, literally anything is possible if you put it to your brain and you pursue it. You know what I mean? This is the video, bro. You are free to go ahead and watch it. The video has like 1,600 viewers. I posted it a year ago. I ran 55 kilometers with no experience. The video is ass. Now I'm looking back at it. It was super well edited. The story was not nice. Everything about it feels bad. But hey, this is the journey. This is the beginning. This is where Mr. Hoyt was born. This is the journey of how my whole YouTube career started. Then I started live streaming. Then I started posting shorts. And hey, I'm not saying that, hey, it's successful. But hey, look at this, guys. We have some shorts with over 50 million views. You know what I mean? So it's not that I did bad. But hey, this was the whole beginning to it. So you're free to watch that, bro. You're free to go whenever you want. It's out there, bro. Whenever I tell you a story, it's never a cap, bro. I never lie with these kind of stuffs. But yeah, this is the point. Like I've said, this was nothing compared to what this person did. I'm just sharing this story to tell you, like, the power of the brain, the power of your mind is so much powerful than what we think. You can be pushing through stuffs that thinking about it is almost impossible. When I told my parents, when I told my friends, when I told my wife, she was my girlfriend back in the time, I told them that I'm going to be trying to attempt that. The only person who really believed in me, beside myself, is my wife. Because she knows the kind of the person I am. If I put something in my mind, I'll do it. If I die, I'll still do it. If my legs is going to be cut, I'm still going to be crawling. This is just the power of the brain. Every other person in my life say that it's not possible. You are not going to be doing it. It's impossible. You're not going to be reaching there. Don't do it. This is stupid. And maybe it was stupid, but hey. I did it. Anyway, back to the video.
Halfway across, a searchlight flares back to life and sweeps the river behind him. Kim dives, lets the current drag him downstream, and kicks for the far bank with lungs screaming for air. He surfaces 20 meters beyond the searchlight's arc and keeps swimming. His hands hit Chinese mud. He pulls himself onto the bank, collapses face first into the earth, and stares at the sky. Rain washes over his face. He is alive and free, but he is alone. 3 weeks later, Kim lands at Incheon Airport in Seoul. National Intelligence Service agents are waiting at the gate. They do not offer congratulations. They offer handcuffs. What happens when a democracy punishes a man for doing what its own government could not? And what news is waiting for Kim inside a South Korean prison cell? South Korean law is clear. Entering North Korea without authorization is a crime under the National Security Act, punishable by up to 3 years in prison. The law does not care why you went. It does not care that you swam through freezing water, fought a soldier,
Obviously they're
hid in
not.
a crawl space for 3 weeks, or left your mother behind to save her life. The law cares only that you crossed a line drawn on a map 60 years ago. For 6 weeks, NIS agents interrogate Kim in a gray room with no windows. They want to know if he is a spy. They want to know if Pyongyang sent him. They want to know who his handlers are, what secrets he carried, what lies he is hiding. Kim answers the same way every time. I went to save my mother. Nothing more. Eventually, the agents believe him, or at least run out of reasons not to. The trial takes 1 afternoon. Kim stands in handcuffs while a judge reads the charges. The courtroom murmurs. Everyone can see the absurdity. A man who risked execution to rescue his family is now a criminal because he succeeded where the state failed. The prosecutor asks for leniency. The judge grants it. Kim is sentenced to 6 months in prison and 2 years probation.
6 months in prison for that kind of thing is not that crazy. And I feel like this is the best case scenario what could have happened. If they found him out, if they found out in North Korea, he would be probably dead. So spending 6 months in the prison of South Korea doesn't really have a bad prison. So spending your 6 months there is not going to be that bad of a life, I would say so. At least you're still alive. I think this was the best case scenario that could have happened. Obviously, like the best case would have been if he doesn't get caught. But if you're already caught, I'd rather any time of the day be caught in South Korea than North Korea.
By the letter of the law, it is lenient. By any human measure, it is a punchline written by bureaucrats. Prison in South Korea bears no resemblance to prison in North Korea. Kim has a cot with a mattress, 3 meals a day, books in Korean and English, a window that looks out on a courtyard with trees. But comfort means nothing when you have abandoned the person you went to save. Every night he lies awake wondering if the Baobu found her. Every morning, he wakes to the same silence. No news, no word, nothing. 4 months into his sentence, a guard summons Kim to the warden's office for a phone call. The voice on the other end belongs to a broker, a different one. Someone from the network who finally believed Kim's story after hearing it confirmed by 3 separate sources. The broker is speaking fast, words tumbling over each other. Kim's mother is out. She crossed the Yalu 2 weeks ago.
What?
She made it through China. She is in Thailand right now.
Why am I having
in a
goosebumps
refugee
again?
Processing center, waiting for her transit visa to South Korea. Kim's knees buckle. He grips the edge of the warden's desk to keep from falling. "Amma," he whispers into the receiver. Her voice crackles through the static, thin, exhausted, unmistakably real. "My son, I'm here." She followed the road he mapped. She used the contacts he cultivated, the groundwork he laid during those 22 nights in the crawl space, the
Yo.
coded phone calls on the hillside, the broker negotiations that seemed to go nowhere. All of it paid off months after he left. His mission did not fail. It just took longer than he planned. On a cold morning in September, Kim Kang-woo walks out of prison. His mother is waiting at the gate, wrapped in a coat someone donated at a refugee shelter. She looks smaller than he remembers, older, her hair streaked with gray that was not there before. He crosses the distance in 3 steps and pulls her into his arms. Neither of them speaks. There is nothing to say that the embrace does not already communicate. They are survivors. They are free. They are together.
Damn, bro.
The nightmares do not stop.
Brother, I was just going to say I'm feeling so happy that this is how it ended. But obviously, welcome. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, buddy. But obviously some bullshit had to be happening, bro. Like, there is nothing over with the bullshit. I was like, finally happy ending. He worked his ass off for this moment. All the past 3 years and the struggle of how he went back to North Korea and the struggles within North Korea and the struggles to escape North Korea and the struggles within South Korea in the prison, and finally ended up with a happy story. And obviously it doesn't end up there, bro. I was started to feel so happy for him.
Kim still wakes gasping, certain he is back in the crawl space, hearing boots on the floorboards. His mother still flinches at loudspeakers, conditioned by decades of propaganda blaring from village posts at 6 in the morning. The scars of North Korea do not heal cleanly, and some wounds stay open forever. But every morning, they sit across from each other at a small kitchen table in Seoul, drinking tea, watching the sun rise over a city where no one will execute them for hoping. Kim Kang-woo swam against the current twice, once out of hell, once back in.
He did, bro.
He fought a soldier, evaded state security, and served prison time in 2 countries. He lost 3 years of his life, and every dollar he earned. And in the end, he kept a promise he made to his mother when he was 20 years old. "I will come back for you." One man's stubbornness outran 2 governments and a river that was never supposed to flow in reverse. If you want to see what happens when another defector tries to escape, one who was just a kid and had to leave all his family behind, watch.
Damn, bro, that was such a like emotionally up down video. That was such a double video. Well executed storytelling, and I'm so happy for the man. I know nothing about him, but I feel so happy about him. Anyway, great story. That was a great story, bro. I enjoyed that one. I love anything that's any story that has crime related, anything that's not supposed to be doing but still somehow ended up doing. I feel like there is so many masterpiece and mastermind going in before to be able to execute this kind of stuff. We watched the last Sunday a video about a guy who was a teenager and he made about 45 million just from selling weed. And the way he was getting in the weed grass, I'm gonna be referring it to as grass for the sake of the video. Smuggling in the grass from Canada to the US, the way he was doing it as a teenager, it was a really great story. And I'm really enjoy this kind of stuff, like, you know, the preparation, what goes into it, what is gonna be affected, how is gonna be affected, who's gonna be involved, and this kind of stuff. I enjoy this kind of stories, guys. I love them. But hey, that was such a double video. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.